Okay, so under full throttle, again, I'm driving this pretty much back to back with a Rebel. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be going over the Ram 2500 AEV Prospector XL, and this one is built off of a night edition, so I think this is probably the coolest looking Ram truck ever built, and that's why I'm reviewing it. Anyways, a huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram here in Sandy for giving me some time with this truck. This one is available for sale for the time being, so if you're interested, I'll include a link to their inventory in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. So like I said, this is built off of a 2500, so we've got the 6.7 liter Cummins under the hood, the lower output version, which puts out 370 horsepower and then 850 pound-feet of torque, and it goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission. Now, before we go over the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. Now, in other Prospector XL reviews, I've kind of dove a little bit deeper into the technical nitty-gritty. So in this video, we're just going to kind of gloss over things, if that makes sense. So anyways, first off, you guys can see this giant brush guard here on the front end. It is absolutely enormous. We've got these light pods here built in with this package, and we also have a winch as well. You guys can see synthetic cable, which is a lot safer than steel. And then just look how like crazy everything's like just scaled up a massive amount on this. But something that I do want to mention is with the procedure that AEV does with their bumpers where they use boron steel, it's not super thick, but I mean, you can tell this thing is like rock solid. Like, you could just go through a brick wall with this. I'm not telling you to go through a brick wall with your $100,000 AEV truck, but again, you can just tell that like that stuff is solid. So like if you were to, like, I don't know, hit into a rock off-road, you wouldn't have to worry about it. The rock's probably going to have a bad day and your truck's probably going to have a little scuff on the front end. And the last thing I want to mention for the front end is the approach angle on this truck is just ridiculous. Now, in terms of ground clearance, there isn't an official spec, but this has 40-inch tall tires, so it probably has like 2 million inches of ground clearance roughly. You know, somewhere around there. And well, speaking of 40-inch tall tires, here they are. 40-inch tires wrapped around 17-inch wheels, the way that God intended. All jokes aside, seriously, like, this is the coolest off-road setup you can put on a vehicle. Tons of sidewall, not a lot of wheel. It looks fantastic. It's also super practical, and just look how knobby these tires are. I feel like 40s are like a cheat code. I had to drive this truck through the snow to get it to this part of the parking lot because it snowed a bunch, and like, it's crazy the stuff you can go through with 40s. And by the way, this does have a 3-inch dual sport RT suspension as well, so that will help out with the ride quality alongside the 40s. And then you guys can see these gigantic fender flares. Of course, we got our Prospector badge here, and then it actually has the standard side steps. And then here's kind of a look at the setup, or at least part of the setup we can see here in the rear. And oh, those wheels. But yeah, when you look at this from a side view perspective, it literally looks like a real life monster truck. It's pretty crazy. Now, something else that's really cool that AEV does is diff covers. This is a huge thing for off-roading so that you have, you know, one of the lowest points on the vehicle protected, and well, it's protected. Notice with the protection here for the rear bumper, and this whole setup back here just looks really cool. You still have the factory parking sensors integrated as well. And then of course we got more of our AEV badges on top of that. Now, some of these Prospectors will come with a spare 40 in the bed. I'm not sure if this one has it or not. It's got too much snow to tell, but it's got a big lump in there, so there's potential. There's definitely potential. We do have an outlet here in the bed though. But in all seriousness, I think that AEV absolutely killed it because they basically made this an extremely practical, capable off-roader, but they also made it look really badass at the same time. It's not always possible to do that, but AEV was able to do it with this truck. Now, like I said earlier, this is built off of a night edition Laramie, so you guys can see we've got that interior that comes with it. We do have the AEV headrest that's also added, but we have the standard Laramie seats, and this is also built off of a crew cab, which obviously makes the most amount of sense for off-roading so that you have a shorter truck. And then popping to the front, you guys can see everything here with the door panel, and then stuff like automatic windows, power folding mirrors. And then this is built off of a 22 Ram, so we have the 22 Ram trailer mirrors. Obviously, when they do a 23, they'll have the new style mirrors on the AEV Prospector XL. And look at that, AEV yet again, but then it says Laramie just down below that, which is kind of funny, but you can see really nice seats. Now this has all of the normal Ram 1500 Laramie creature comforts, so I'll kind of just highlight some of the important stuff. Column shifter, that's always important. But AEV does these cool custom gauges, which definitely looks fantastic. And then with the Laramie, you get like nice leather padding here on the dash. This one doesn't have the 12-inch display, just the 8.4-inch. You can see backup camera. It would be cool if this was a Laramie Spectre with a 360 camera system. That would be nice to have. But great infotainment system, responds really well. And then we've got heated and cooled seats, dual zone climate. This is important to me as someone who's an off-roader. We've got 6 auxiliary switches from the factory with this truck to hook in with all of the items, so that is great. And then this one actually has a bench seat. So I guess while you're trudging through the off-road with your best buddy, they can sit right next to you rather than all the way over there. And then other than that, power sliding rear window with this truck. No sunroof or anything like this. So this is kind of like a middle of the line Laramie Night Edition in terms of how this particular one is packaged out. So this is the window sticker for the Laramie this is built off of. You guys can see Night Edition, $79,400 is the base price before the AEV stuff has been added to it. You guys can see the base price of the AEV package, $20,999, and then there are some options added to this particular one. So total content, $32,000, $113,793 is the total MSRP on this truck. Let's see how this thing drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility of the hood, both of the mirrors, through the rest of the rear, and, well, let's set off. So that's comfortable. Suspension also super comfortable as well. This thing rides so well. This is the thing that impresses me about this truck so much, is just how well it rides. I did drive a Rebel today, the new Rebel package, which is obviously Ram's factory off-road 2500, and you know, I can just tell you, like, that truck drives well. This is on a whole nother level. It just has so much more travel, and the 40s really help out, because with the 40s you've got just this, you know, extra amount of absorption of what's happening on the road, and so it just really smooths things out quite a bit. Yes, this drives so well. It's got so much torque too. It's got more than enough to just move everything. I will say though, it sits pretty wide on the road. I felt like I was gonna like I was in the lane, but I still felt like I was just gonna like hit into that person because of just how wide this thing is. Yeah, those fender flares are huge. We're gonna like go through the snow here a little bit. Yep, there we go. So it happens when you got 40s, but don't worry. I mean, we got 40s, so like the snow is not a problem whatsoever for us. Thank you for using your turn signal. Right, it's because they're a fellow Ram driver. Fellow Ram drivers know how to use their turn signals. So torquey. Like, this can move 40s, no problem. Man, I feel like I'm just the king of the road in this truck. I feel like I could just like run people over. Not gonna do that, okay? But like, this truck's so big. Okay, so under full throttle, again, I'm driving this pretty much back to back with a Rebel. It's a bit slower than like a standard Ram. It's not like insane. It's not like insanely slow, but it's slower. You can perceive it. So it doesn't move the 40s as well as it moves 33s. Who'd have thought, right? Going from 33s to 40s, right? Sarcasm. I feel like I have to say that nowadays because like I'll say things in my videos and people don't pick up on the sarcasm. So yeah, I think this truck looks great, and especially with the Night Edition package, I think the Night Edition really just works so well with this truck. And I want to show you guys a little test here of a couple things. So first test is, you guys can see down there how it's like a little bit of a bump, just to show you like how well this suspension is at absorbing things. And I know this isn't like the best thing ever, but still, it just does it. It has so much travel, it doesn't struggle at all. And then our second test, well, this one will be a little bit harder because I got to try to squeeze through here. So actually, we're probably going to want to put it in four-wheel high in a second. But we're gonna keep it in two-wheel drive right now because with the heavy duties, if you don't know, in four-wheel drive you have 0 turning radius. Oh yeah, I got plenty of space here. Okay, so now that I'm in like more of, I guess, a comfortable position, let's put it back in two-wheel drive. Okay, and let's see if the 40s can just get through this. Okay, you know what? That's cheating. Let's go back. They're probably gonna be like, what the heck has Ben doing today? Okay, so we're down below the bump. Oh, there we go. We slid a little bit. It looks like it's catching some. The thing is, 40s are so big that yeah, we slid like a little bit, but then it's the 40s are so big that it just doesn't matter. So like, okay, just to give you guys reference, I know that like video never does anything justice, but like even a vehicle in 35s, you would have to be in four-wheel drive to be able to do that. Actually, we might be stuck now finally in reverse. Nope, never mind. I lied. See, that's the thing, is like, that's crazy. Like in any other vehicle, 35s, even probably 37s, you wouldn't move at all, but 40s are so big. Anyways, that's all. That was like a weird thing in the video. Let me know what you guys think about the Prospector XL.